Hey everyone, what happens to your child support arrears if you just don't pay what you owe? This is Paul with Youngblood Law, and I want to wrap this discussion up pretty quickly here. Here's the thing um, that is, your child support arrears are not a debt, they're a duty. They cannot be discharged in bankruptcy, they never go away, even after the child ages out. If you were ordered to pay a child support amount and you don't pay it, the Attorney General generally tracks all those payments that should have happened and the ones that did not happen, and they keep a record of how much you should have paid by now and how much you actually have paid by now. And once they determine that you have not paid what you're supposed to pay, they're never going to let that go. We had a gentleman come into the office one time, older guy, I mean, in his mid to late 70s, carrying one of those little carts, that has the oxygen tank on it, and he had like the oxygen thing up in his nose, um, trying to figure out how he to deal with 80 some odd $1,000 of back child support he owed from the 80s. So he had a divorce in the mid 80s, and they assessed child support, and he disappeared, went and moved to another state for a few years, or who knows. But now the question is, how does he get out from under that? They're garnishing half of his only income is his Social Security disability income. So his SSDI was getting garnished at half, and he couldn't afford to live. So what does he do? Y'all, there's nothing you can do. You can pay it, but you cannot escape it. You can't file bankruptcy. None of that. You can pay that debt. That's all you can do. And honestly, you can't even die and get out from under it. So if you pass away, the state can come after your estate for any back owed, right? So your house is no longer your homestead if you pass, right? So potentially the state could come and put a lien on your on the property, and demand it gets sold so they can get their money. So who knows what, right? But basically, here's what I'm trying to tell you: if you have a child support obligation, you have to pay it. I made a video several days ago about if your child support, if your job changes, you need to change your child support. I stick to that, and it's really important to do, because once you accrue thousands of dollars of arrears, you have to pay. There's no going back generally and saying, well, I was unemployed back in January, and so that all last year I shouldn't have been charged that much. The court doesn't care. They're just going to say you should have come back in January when you lost your job and modified. And you didn't do it, so you owe this money, right? So, y'all, if you have child support obligations, obviously our recommendation is to pay them. But understand that if the Attorney General or the obligee, the custodial parent, sues you for those fees, jail time is generally on the table. They can actually put you in jail. We don't have debtors' prisons, but child support's not a debt, it's a duty. And the courts will absolutely put you in jail for child support that you owe, that you're just not paying. So that's going to make it harder, of course, to get a job or maintain your job. And now you're going to have a hard time paying additional child support. So going to jail, getting a judgment against you, they can suspend your licenses. That is your driver's license, your hunting license, your license to practice law or practice medicine or to fly a plane, your accountant's license. They can suspend all your state licenses if you fail to pay your child support. So, not to mention the fact that whatever you owe is drawing interest at 6% per year. So, pay your child support, and you can avoid an enforcement on your unpaid child support that could land you in jail. Suspension of your license. Also, if you do get sued, we absolutely recommend you hire an attorney to help defend you in that enforcement suit. But keep in mind, if the other side who's suing you wins, they're also going to get attorney's fees awarded to them for having to force you to pay your child support. So now you're paying for your lawyer and you're paying for the other side's lawyer. Even if it's the attorney general, they plead for attorney's fees to reimburse the state for the cost. So, y'all, pay your child support, and if you do get behind, you need to get with the lawyer right away to see what we can do to get your amount lowered, or see what we can do to get you caught up to prevent an enforcement that could cost thousands of dollars. But child support never goes away. So learn it, live it, love it, pay your child support. And if you need help with it, get a lawyer to get on board, because it's technical work, and the Attorney General is not going to help you get out from under a child support burden. They just don't do that, right? In theory, they should, but they don't. So give us a call if you need help, 817-601-5345, or find us on the web at divorceinnovation.com. Also, hey, Betsy, less hands. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.